Ryan Wesley Routh, the suspected Trump shooter, was the mastermind behind a complex scheme to traffic Afghan refugees using forged Pakistani passports. These refugees were being funneled into Ukraine to fight in the war against Russia. I don't know what this is from. He just has like a fucking... Okay, link to article. Yeah, I hate when people do this, right? Like, whenever I post screenshots of an article, my first post underneath my initial post is the article. Because it's like, why would someone just believe me when I throw out, like, a random fucking screenshot of text, right? I hate it when people do that. U.S. mercenary plans to recruit Pakistani-based Afghan refugees as fighters for Ukraine April 1st, 2023. On April fucking Fool's Day? Are you kidding me? First, his criminal record starts in 1984, and now we have his Pakistani Afghan refugee fighters for Ukraine on April 1st. I hate the simulation, chat. This revelation, this is the newindian.in. It looks like a real news website. Or like it looks real from first glance. It doesn't look like satire. This revelation was brought to light by the U.S. media in an interview of a former construction worker turned mercenary, Ryan Routh. An American from Greensboro, North Carolina, Ryan Routh brazenly bragged to the New York Times about his plans to recruit fighters for Ukraine from among Afghan soldiers who fled the Taliban. He revealed that he was going to purchase passports from Pakistan in order to facilitate the plot. Routh spent several months in Ukraine last year. He plans to move them, in some cases illegally, from Pakistan and Iran to Ukraine. This timeline also matches up that Newsweek video that we watched. This one was in 2022. So that timeline does indeed line up with what's being said here. Meanwhile... I missed this sentence. He plans to move them, in some cases illegally, from Pakistan and Iran to Ukraine. Routh said dozens had expressed interest in the plan. We can probably purchase some passports through Pakistan, since it's such a corrupt country, Routh said in an interview. They're the good guys, by the way. Meanwhile, Ukraine is struggling to defend itself against Russia due to infighting among mercenaries. When Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called for help in February 2022, thousands of mercenaries and fighters from Western countries showed up. Many fighters were with problematic past, including fabricated military records, enrolled in the International Legion, and other several volunteer groups. These homespun groups of volunteers have started fighting amongst themselves, undermining the war effort, wasting money, illegally exporting military technology, and cloaking themselves in charity, while also trying to profit from the war. How dare those mercenaries try to profit from the war? Only U.S. politicians are allowed to do that. So if the guy worked as a three-letter organization merc before, we can safely assume he was hired again. Oh my god. What a rabbit hole, man. One American, James Vasquez, a Connecticut home improvement contractor, is accused of misusing donations received for the war. Vasquez used his story to receive donations, claiming he was in Kuwait during Desert Storm and Iraq after 9/11. However, as per Pentagon, Vasquez was never deployed to Kuwait, Iraq, or anywhere else. He specialized in fuel and electrical repairs and left the Army Reserve not as a sergeant, as he claimed, but as a private first class, one of the Army's lowest ranks. Vasquez had easy access to weapons, including American rifles, and fought alongside Da Vinci's Wolves, a Ukrainian far-right group. Pakistan had, on several occasions, directly and indirectly provided military support to Ukraine in the last year of the war. Despite official denials, Pakistan is suspected of indirectly arming Ukraine against Russia at the behest of America. In October 2022, the United Kingdom allegedly put together an air bridge between Pakistan and Romania and delivered classified cargo, triggering speculation that London may have purchased the shells from Islamabad and delivered them to Kiev. Previously, there were reports that Pakistan had promised 10,000 rockets for Grad multi-barrel rocket launchers and 44 T-80 tanks in exchange for Western assistance. Pakistan, discredited for being a terror sponsor worldwide, has left no stone unturned to regain its status as a reliable and faithful Western ally using the Russia-Ukraine conflict. In 2021, Ukraine laid the red carpet for General Bajwa. During his visit to the country, he was presented a guard of honor by a smartly turned-out military contingent. Following that, Bajwa began issuing strong statements against Moscow and calling the war in Ukraine an invasion by the Kremlin that needed to be stopped immediately. During the peak of its conflict with Russia, the US and its allies were reluctant to supply fighter jets to Ukraine. However, a British-Pakistani billionaire, Mohammed Zahour, stepped in to provide fighter jets to help in their war against Russians last year. Although Islamabad is trying to balance its relationship with the Kremlin by committing itself to importing crude oil from Russia, it has been dilly-dallying on its promise, indicating that its priority remains the US-led NATO and Ukraine over Moscow. I probably didn't need to read that whole article, but that was a fascinating trek down what the fuck has been happening, I guess. Because like I've said, I don't follow too much about what exactly is going on over there. Rick Bain, thank you for the 5. The tanks and guns in the Ukraine are free. You can just take them. I want free tanks and guns, man.